Welcome back. We have breaking news. CENTCOM confirming that 4 U.S. crew members have been killed after their military refueling plane crashed in Iraq yesterday. President Trump now warning of major attacks against Iran coming today, writing this: Iran's Navy is gone, their Air Force is no longer, missiles, drones, and everything else are being decimated, and their leaders have been wiped from the face of the earth. We have unparalleled firepower, unlimited ammunition, and plenty of time. Now, the Department of War's acting comptroller revealed that the U.S. spent about $11 billion last week on Iran strikes. Officials are planning to submit a supplemental defense budget request to Congress in the coming days. Lawmakers confirming my reporting that it could be upwards of $50 billion. We also just heard breaking news from the press conference with Secretary Pete Hegseth telling us that the son of Khamenei, Mojtaba Khamenei, the supreme leader, has been wounded, likely disfigured. This breaking news you heard on the show before we spoke with the Anthropic spokesperson. Again, Pete Hegseth just told us that Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, the son of Ayatollah, has been wounded, likely disfigured. Now, there was a lot of conversation about his status yesterday. Now we know the facts from Pete Hegseth. He's been wounded and likely disfigured. Joining me now is Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson, a member of the Senate Homeland Security Committee. Senator, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. We have so much to get to with you, and I saw what you said about the Save America Act, and we're going to get to that. But first, I want to get your take on this war and this breaking news that we just got, that the Ayatollah's son has been wounded and likely disfigured. Give us your take and your assessment of this war in Iran.
Good morning, Maria. Well, unfortunately, the Ayatollahs in Iran have been at war with America for 47 years. They're the largest state sponsor of terror. You know, all they would have had to do is agree not to pursue a nuclear weapon, not enrich uranium. If they wanted nuclear power, just buy the rods from the international community. They wouldn't do that. Instead, they pursued a nuclear weapon. They built up their missile stockpile. They built up their drone stockpile. They've been the largest state sponsor of terror. At some point in time, we had to deal with them until we no longer would be able to, before they became a nuclear power, before they had so many missiles, so many drones that this kind of attack would have just devastated the region. So, listen, this is a tough decision for President Trump. There's nothing easy about war. There's tragedies, tragic deaths of our U.S. service people, the children in the school. But remember, the Ayatollahs executed 30 to 40,000 of their own citizens in a few days. This is an evil regime. They are a menace. They're right now holding the Strait of Hormuz and the world hostage in terms of oil supply. We need to deal with them once and for all.
Yeah. So what does that mean? I mean, look, you know that your colleagues on the left, as this war was just beginning, wanted to clip President Trump's wings in terms of his, allowance to make these decisions. That failed. Now you can't even get the Department of Homeland Security opened, and we've got terrorism once again on our soil. 50,000 TSA agents will be missing their first full paycheck this week as Senate Democrats once again failed to pass a funding bill reopening the Department of Homeland Security. So, Senator, what do you want to say about the radical threat of radical Islamic terrorism at America's doorsteps once again? A former Virginia National Guardsman previously convicted of providing support to ISIS in 2016, opening fire on the campus of Old Dominion University yesterday. An ROTC instructor, Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw, was killed, others injured, and then hours later, a naturalized U.S. citizen from Lebanon rams his car through a Michigan synagogue. And your colleagues on the left refuse to open the Department of Homeland Security.
Maria, the radical Democrats caused this problem. They opened up the borders, flooding millions of people in this country, completely unvetted. We were always concerned that was a clear and present danger. We have no idea how many Iranian sleeper cells, members of transnational criminal organizations, violent gangs are in this country. And rather than help us clean up these messes, the 40-year high inflation, the open border, the weakness that has emboldened people like the Ayatollahs in Iran, they are doing everything they can to obstruct America. GDP was down in the fourth quarter. Why? Because of Schumer's shutdown. So not only are they not helping us clean up the mess, they're doing everything they can to frustrate our efforts to interfere with President Trump's efforts to clean up their messes. It's really despicable.
Yeah, great point. You're right. GDP was down from the expectation. It was supposed to be 1.5% growth. We got growth of 0.7%. Senator, I got to get to the SAVE Act with you. I saw your comments in the Federalist yesterday, and really, you made such a great point. John Thune says he's going to bring this to the floor next week. You're going to have a vote on it, and that'll be that. You're calling this one and done, and you said that would be disaster. What do you mean by that? Tell us what you're expecting next week on the Save America Act.
At a minimum, we need to get on this bill, offer amendments, and make sure that the American people realize the reason that we can't pass election security, that we can't have basic controls like voter ID, proof of citizenship to make sure that your legitimate vote isn't canceled by a fraudulent one, is because of Democrats. Now, could we pass this if we could eliminate the filibuster? Yes. And what I've suggested is we should vote on a rule change. That requires 67 votes. The split in our conference is those of us who believe the Democrats, next time they're in power, they will end the filibuster, versus those of us, those in our conference who are hoping against all hope that they won't do that. Listen, we would all like to keep the filibuster, but the reality is Democrats can end it. So let's vote. Let's see what Democrats would do with Trump in power. Do they want to end the filibuster with Trump in power, with Republicans in control, where we can actually secure elections, or not? We'd have to take that vote. It's a 67-vote threshold. Put the Democrats on record. It's really about the only way I could see preventing them from nuking the filibuster once they gain the majority in the Senate. So
you want to have a vote on a rule change, and you want to see who's going to vote on that. And then you want to do, because if you just do the Save America Act, what are we getting? We're going to get, okay, well, here's the 48 senators or the 50 senators who say yes on the Save America Act, and here's the ones that say no. And then what? We done?
Well, at a minimum, we ought to put it on the floor. We're going to offer amendments. President Trump would actually like to add to that, prevent biological males from competing in girls' sports. And there's a number of incredibly popular provisions, things that the American people support, 80% support, but Democrats are opposed. So be on a bill day after day after day, make Democrats defend on why are they objecting to, why are they opposed to what 80% of Americans agree with. So put them on the spot, make them vote on these types of amendments. In the end, probably do a cloture vote. If that fails, the next vote ought to be, okay, let's change the rules to end the filibuster and see whether Democrats would do that when President Trump and Republicans are in power. My guess is they will not. And then we can all say, okay, let's agree to that. We'll keep the Senate as it has been operating for over 100 years. We'll respect the minority rights in the Senate, but put them on the spot. Make people vote.
Senator, you keep hearing the same thing from John Thune, that you don't have the votes to end the filibuster. You don't have the support for it. What do you want to say to those people who say, look, if the Republicans have such a vote and they end up killing this filibuster, then you're going to get the same issue from the Democrats when they want to push their legislation through that the Republicans don't agree with it?
Again, I believe the Democrats will end the filibuster. About 35 of them sent a letter. They wouldn't do it. And then when they had a chance, they voted down the filibuster. The only reason they didn't is Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. They purged those two members out of their party. Again, I believe they will end it. I know I have colleagues who don't believe that. Okay, so put them on the spot. Make Democrats vote. Are you going to end the filibuster when Republicans are in power or not? And, if they decide not to do that, okay, we won't end the filibuster. Yeah. And then there will be a lot of pressure on them politically next time they want to do it. We didn't want to do it when Republicans in power.
You're living in reality. This is the reality of it. Your colleagues want to end the filibuster, and given the chance, they probably will. This is the reality we set. Senator, thanks for laying it all out. We appreciate you, and we'll see you soon. Senator Ron Johnson.
Have a good morning.
We'll be right back.